I first met Woody on the Governor's Business Council, now called the Texas Business Leadership Council. Woody was chairman at the time. It was then that I came to admire and respect him. I could tell that he had a passion for Texas, but his real passion was education so that Texas can have a better prepared workforce. He received his undergraduate degree with honors and his MBA from the University of Texas and his Master's of Arts degree from the Drucker School of Management. The Hunt companies own and manage 56,000 multifamily units and 4.9 million square feet of office, retail, and industrial properties. But because Woody is such a modest individual, he doesn't ever bring it up or talk about this business success. He and Gail spend all their energy making Texas a better place to live, and I think one thing Woody is most proud of is the 7 years he served on the Board of Regents for the University of Texas system, and also as he served as their vice chairman during his tenure. In 2011, Woody and Gail received the Lucy B. Acosta Humanitarian Award presented by LULAC. Also in 2011, Woody was named one of the top 12 most influential people in Texas by Texas Monthly Magazine. In my personal opinion, he's ranked number 2 behind the governor. Woody has a heart bigger than Texas and has definitely earned his recognition. Congratulations, Woody, and welcome to the Texas Business Hall of Fame.
Builder, a person who constructs something by putting parts or materials together over a period of time.
A great builder is a visionary, is an entrepreneur. He creates relationships. It's not just bricks and sticks and steel, it's much more than that.
I see Woody as a builder. In my mind, I think of him as a builder of futures. He understands every aspect of constructing something new. That something new has been about the well-being of his fellow citizens.
I mean, it's just a competitive challenge. I mean, it's a challenge to put all the pieces together. There's almost nothing harder than creating a business enterprise where revenues exceed expenses, and particularly do it over a period of time. So it's kind of that fundamental challenge that's kept me engaged for a very long period of time.
Born in El Paso, the region is near and dear to Woody, and that passion has a long family history.
I'm a 6th-generation Texan, a 3rd-generation El Paso, and so my relatives have been here since the 1890s. My father probably had a strong influence on me just from his work ethic, from a very early age. He helped create this business that started, helped develop the platform that I took over. Initially, we could compete from here very well, but I think what really kept us here was the recognition of responsibility as far as from a community standpoint.
Hunt is an international developer, investor, manager, and financier of real assets. The company owns or manages over 214,000 multifamily units and 4.9 million square feet of commercial property. Has a financing platform that originates over $2 billion in commercial loans annually, and a commercial loan servicing portfolio of more than $11 billion. But it all began much more humbly in 1947.
Well, the grandfather, father, and uncle post-World War II, 1947, and it started as a building materials in what was then a suburb of El Paso, developed into a general contractor, and I arrived at that moment in time. I've been the controlling shareholder and CEO, chairman since then up until January of this year, where I actually gave up the CEO role and continue as executive chairman.
Woody takes great care to understand exactly what's happening in a given situation. He operates from the facts, from the reality.
So if he decides to take on a task, he'll do whatever he needs to do creatively to assemble the people, assemble the resources to make it happen.
My nature is you get something done, you accomplish what, and now the question is what's next? So I'm very forward-looking in that standpoint. Sometimes years down the line on where do you want to be at a certain point in time, organizationally or personally, what do you want to accomplish?
In January of this year, Woody stepped down from the CEO role to dedicate more of his focus to making a difference in his beloved El Paso and the Borderplex region, so dear to his heart.
At a certain point, you build a platform that allows you to do other things. And that's, in my case, has been particularly engaged in public policy issues, both locally and at the state level.
I know he's been very interested in the El Paso history, and he's been civically very involved.
One of my missions in life has been, whether it's charitable or public policy, has been to keep El Paso connected to the rest of the state.
One of the projects that Woody and I have been involved in for many years is education reform. He knows that education is basically the future of Texas as well as the future of the country.
I think at the state level, the state has an educational challenge that is not well understood. And it's going to take the state leadership, both political and business, to essentially step up to the plate.
Reform is going to happen. It's just, it might not take a year or two, it might take 4 or 5, but it will happen because Woody will provide the leadership and the visionary leadership and the tenacity and the persistence to make it happen.
My wife and I created a family foundation in 1987, so it's almost 30 years ago. It's been very higher education oriented. We helped fund a nursing school here that bears my wife's name in El Paso, an institute on global competitiveness at UTEP, which bears our name.
Woody is absolutely driven in his citizenship by trying to make the world a better place for people as they live their lives.
I feel like it's very important to give back. I mean, it's essentially your time, your moment in time to whether you can make a difference or not.
That's what Woody does. He assembles and motivates people to a common cause.
To me, the most important trait is persistence. If you don't have the ability to persevere through those difficult times, you're probably not going to be successful.
Woody Hunt, the builder.